Lately, I've been obsessed with Jay's sophomore album Rest in Bass, and I'm clearly not the only one.
I found Rest in Bass to be one of the more solid and engaging records I think I've ever heard in the style, which is why I'm feeling a strong 6 to a light 7.
With this album, you could say he really solidified or even expanded the imagination of how far music can go. The production is just insane. It manages to merge different subgenres into one unified sound. In today's video, I'll break down how I made a Jay Rest in Bass type beat. I started with the melody. I wanted it to feel energetic, futuristic and slightly detuned. To get that sound, I layered multiple chords and lead synths to create a bright but ducked texture. To get a detuned feel, I applied bit crusher to some of the chords and lead sounds. For extra detuning, I turned up the unison settings inside my synths. You'll hear this type of sound all over Rest in Bass. That's it for the structure. Now let's move on to processing the melody bus. I tried to keep the processing minimal, just two main effects. First, Shaperbox to add subtle percussive bounce to the melody, and second, a basic low-cut EQ to clean up the mud. Even though it already sounded clean, I wanted to bring up the brightness just a little. For that, I added OTT for extra sparkle and density. Next up, one of the defining characteristics of Rest in Bass: simple but hard-hitting drums. I started with a basic hi-hat pattern to build bounce. To give the heads more space, I added reverb, which helps it sound more roomy and natural. The rest of the pattern is just a clap and an open hat. To transition into the next 8 bars, I threw in a quick snare roll. Super simple. For the intro, I added a more chaotic jerk-style snare pattern, which builds tension and contrast before the main section hits. To wrap up the drums, I added a low-cut EQ and saturation on the drum bus to boost their presence in the high end. You already know what's next. The Rest in Bass 808. It hits harder than your dad's belt after he found the cigarettes under your bed. First, I laid down a basic 808 pattern, simple and clean. The real magic is in the processing. Inside the sampler, I activate the filter section and increase the filter drive for punch. Then I add overdrive, followed by a high cut EQ to stop the 808 from clashing with the melody. I felt the 808 still needed more punch, so I layered in a kick to support it. To really achieve that over-the-top distortion that's all over Rest in Bass, we need to look at the master chain. I started with a soft clipper, threshold set to -5 dB. This not only adds distortion especially to the 808, but also acts like a limiter, stopping the mix from clipping above 0 dB. To boost the top end, I added a high shelf EQ and then turned up fresh air just slightly. The second most important plugin in this chain is MoMA. It stacks more warmth and brightness onto the distortion from the soft clipper. It's also the last plugin in my chain. So yeah, I think we nailed the vibe of Jay's Rest in Bass production style. If this breakdown helped you, drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching, see you next time.